Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today I'm going to be building in a new style in a biome that I've never built in before, and hopefully I can inspire you along the way to try something new in your world, so let's get into it. And that biome is of course the beautiful Mesa biome. Yes, this is more than just a great place to gather terracotta from. This is a great place to do a wide variety of themes, including steampunk, western, mineshaft, and Spanish, and I haven't done any of those before, so we're going to fix that with today's video, so let's get into it. And the first step in attempting a new build style is to check out what it looks like in real life and in Minecraft. See what other people are building, get some good inspiration, get a vision for what you want to do in this world, and then come back and start laying down some basic blocks. And once I had a good idea in mind, I started with this walkway into a courtyard and then laid down some basic shapes for where I'm going to want some buildings to go. It really helps to just build the shell of your build first, that way you can back up and see if that's what you're envisioning and if you need to change anything. And if you're a survivalist, go to the creative world and build it there first. Make sure you like the build before you spend hours gathering resources to build something that you just tear down in the end. And once we have sort of a rough sketch of our build in place, we're going to take a step back and examine it, compare it to the vision we had in mind, and see what we need to fix or change. I already had this courtyard built, so I'm going to go ahead and knock out the little parts of it to kind of hype me up for the rest of the build. And I wanted to keep it very Western themed, so I have a well with the cover on top, a little bit of storage under a shed, and then a nice little horse stall and a couple of horses just to be able to get around in. For the time being, I'm just using coarse dirt to mark out the path, but I'm going to come in with podzol and path blocks later on and use some dead bushes and other plant life to try to bring some life to the area. If you're doing something like me right now, challenging yourself to build something different in an area you haven't built before, don't be afraid to put diagonals in there. Even if it's just a small part of the build, when it's a big build like this, a little bit of diagonal will make it look really nice. couldn't decide what wood type I wanted to use on the roof. Spruce wood looks good with anything. Acacia was a good idea I had, but in the end I ended up going with warped wood because I think that blue-green look would break up a lot of the red and white that's around here. So until a little later in the build, you're going to see a lot of spruce wood and some acacia wood kind of mixed, but it's all going to be warped wood in the end. And at this point in the build, we need to be worrying about scale. We need to figure out how tall we actually want this thing to be. Do we want it to have towers or castle-like features, other chimneys? What do we want on this build, and how tall does it need to be to make it look correct? And while you're figuring out the scale of your build, don't forget to add windows and doors where they need to go and try to break it up a little bit. You don't want any smooth walls. And remember to take a step back and look at the build, check the scale of everything. You don't want to build the entire thing and then look at it and realize that this piece needed to be taller and you got to tear a bunch of stuff down just to rebuild it again. Getting the texture right was also a bit of a challenge on this build. I end up using a lot of stone blocks and I thought it looked a little too patchy, so I come back in later and replace a bunch of it with smooth sandstone to try to clear things up. And once everything's built to scale and the color we finally decided on, we're going to come through and add small details to the building itself, and then we're going to come through and do landscaping and adding details to the outside and the surrounding area. While building this, I realized that the Mesa is kind of a barren wasteland, and that the noisier I made this area look, the better it ended up looking, especially after adding a lot of plant life to the area. I've never actually built anything in the Mesa biome, it's always just been a place to gather resources from, but this was pretty fun. Let me know in the comment section what biome makes you uncomfortable to build in, and maybe I'll tackle that one next. And now that the sun's going down, we should consider lighting up the area. Unless you're playing in survival, it's all about what kind of mood you want to set, what kind of themes are you working with. With something like this, we just want to do some soft lighting, not too much, not too little. Well, everybody, thanks for watching, and if you like the build, let me know, and if there's a biome that you feel is hard to build in, put it in the comment section, and maybe we'll build there soon. Until next time, have a good night.